Hey everybody, Coping Skills here, back with some more Ren. Still on that push for 1,000 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so right now. It would be greatly appreciated. If not, stay on the journey with me. We're enjoying some Ren. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you have any ideas for improving the channel, I'm open to hearing feedback. I love it. Um, Outside of that, my name is Coping Skills on the channel here. That's the channel name. And I am a licensed mental health counselor in Florida. I started this reaction journey starting with Higher End, and I've been loving the Renegades ever since. I dabble here and there with some other songs from some other artists. I intend to get into a little bit more of that, but I can't sway away from Ren. Anyway, yeah, gonna do Bittersweet Symphony. Um, Not many had suggested it, but I was just kind of scrolling through Ren's songs and um, figured I'd take a step outside of normal mental health stuff uh, and do this one. It seemed interesting. Anyway, let's get to it.
I've got dirt on my Reeboks from staying up all night. Spent my last £10 on this pack of Marlboro Lights. I phoned up Stevie, I said, G, you alright? He said, it's 6 in the morning, brother, get some shut-eye. I feel a sense of
Before we get too into it, I like it. I really like the strings in the background. It's great. Um, yeah, him talking about the night before spending his last $10 on some cigarettes. Um, Quit smoking, Ren. Save your voice, right? It's not great for the lungs. Anyway, um, yeah, really dig kind of the vibe so far. It's early on, but the melodic strings and talking about staying up all night, calling friends. Yeah, a little night of insomnia or partying or something. So, yep, go back a bit, but just kind of wanted to comment on the strings, really.
I've got dirt on my Reeboks from staying up all night. Spent my last £10 on this pack of Marlboro Lights. I phoned up Stevie, I said, G, you alright? He said, it's 6 in the morning, brother, get some shut-eye. I feel a sense of well-being this time in the morning. Wear my heart out of my hoodie while the city is snoring. Drunks falling off the sidewalks get issued a warning. Distant sirens, they crescendo like a symphony calling. This is the Britain I know, this is the Britain I love. There's poetry inside this city if you listen enough. Working class casualty.
So I got a comment here. I'll go back a little bit, but the slow build of the um, really the symphony behind him is beautiful, and hey, the camera work so far is incredible. You really kind of are engaged following him, and I mean he's out in public, so he obviously does not care, which is great, right? Having that confidence or um, that commitment to theatricality and performance is awesome. And then he talked about drunk people up all night, something like that. And then there's cue the drunk people, right? Then he kind of bumps hands with this guy on the ground. So I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure how much is going to be staged throughout this and when they're going to come in, but staging things in a live setting, yeah, it's really cool. I really like that so far. So I'm going to go back uh, to where that is, and also just wanted to comment. I don't know why I am filming this in the morning, um, but him saying, that smell that's just different when you wake up early and you go outside and everything just seems just a little bit cleaner and refreshed. That is a beautiful time. And for me personally, first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I go walk my dog. And I go walk around a little pond and uh, if I'm so focused on the day, it's just a chore walking the dog. However, if I just change my perspective just a touch and I look at it as an enjoyable experience, it becomes a coping skill for me. Uh, Taking a little walk in nature with the dog that I can't get enough of, Roxy. I showed her in one video. Lots of you love Roxy. Um, and then I'm about to walk, so I put down my phone. I'm not walking around looking at my phone and the next thing. I'm not thinking about the next thing that I need to do. Just enjoying nature, enjoying the walk, enjoying the smells, enjoying the sights, and enjoying moving my body around. So yeah, I just wanted to encourage everybody to try to change your perspective a little bit, even when you're doing things that might be mundane or routine or whatever. But I like to say, like, people, and I do as well, say, try to find balance in life. But I think it's more than that. And I think this kind of goes, maybe Ren would feel the same. I don't know. That it's not so much about finding balance in life. It's about finding rhythm in life, right? It's like if you actually stop and you listen and you kind of quiet your thoughts, you could almost feel your life's rhythm, your life's melody, your life's beat, right? And if you move along and you find a good rhythm, tend to be happier. So that's my mental health advice for the day. Take it for what it is. Let's get back to this.
Falling off the sidewalks, get issued a warning. Distant sirens, they crescendo like a symphony calling. This is
He says crescendo, and you can hear it building. So yeah, I like that too. Sorry.
falling off the sidewalks, get issued a warning. Distant sirens, they crescendo like a symphony calling. This is the Britain I know. This is the Britain I love. There's poetry inside this city if you listen enough. Working class casualties out on the street sleep rough, while a mother with her baby takes her pram to the pub. And while she's knocking them down, the cost of living goes up. I can't relate to politicians with their head in the mud. I resonate with messy Fridays with the boy smoking bud. We do our bit to numb the struggle, as below so above, and as above so below. Here in the city we glow. I blow a smoke ring up to heaven and it makes a halo. And then the clock strikes 7, guess it's time to head home. My companion is the city, so I'm never alone.
All right, it's gonna get into a little bit of a more of a chorus, I guess, instead of like the intro. But man, beautiful. He's saying this is the Britain I know, right? He says as above as below. It reminds me of a horror movie, but that's kind of set in Paris. So I'm not sure exactly what he's talking about. But then talking about a halo in the morning, you can see even in this shot, there's like a little circle right above his head right now, which is kind of a little halo or light flare from the camera lens and stuff. So I just thought it was interesting that there's kind of some camera work and halos going along when he said that word. But yeah, really cool. Um, as an aside note, I've never been across the pond, so to speak. I've been in several countries in North America and South America. Well, I've been in South America, so all North American countries, um, Central America, and U.S., Canada. But I'd like to go to England, to Britain, to Europe, Paris, Australia, Japan, China, all over. Germany, Poland. So I would like to know the Britain he knows and he loves. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Let's go.
Struggle as below so above, and as above so below. Here in the city we glow. I blow a smoke ring up to heaven and it makes a halo. And then the clock strikes 7, guess it's time to head home. My companion is the city, so I'm never alone. I'm stepping in and out of gaps of the pavement cracks, and if I go to sleep now, that's an anticlimax. People rise for work and the sun mirrors that. A perfect juxtaposition for those out on the lash. Bear with me.
It is a perfect juxtaposition. But yeah, musicality, it sounded like he was recording some other vocal tracks that are kind of behind. It really adds to that crowded feel um, of a cityscape. So yeah, I like that too.
Go to sleep now, that's an anticlimax. People rise for work and the sun mirrors that. A perfect juxtaposition for those out on the lash. Bear with me, it's beautiful, I think it's irrefutable. There's beauty in the contradicting Britain, indisputable. Junkie in the cubicle, that old spoon is usable. His mother's in the black suit, crying at a funeral. 9 to 5 crucible, this route is not commutable. A kid falls off the tracks and then he serves the scratch at juvenile. Libby's at the dolies, but her disposition's humorful. While Davy's at the bookies and his mates call him delusional. Britain, drink it down and moan about the weather.
Yeah, so one thing he said, something about the dolies, and through the comment section, I've learned that being on the dole is like um, the United States version of welfare, right? So being poor and destitute, but still a part of society, right? Um, I think it kind of speaks to even those that maybe some in society would want to forget are still part of the beautiful cityscape of Britain, but also just of the world, right? Um, Rich, poor, middle class, young, old, we're all part of that beautiful cityscape. And I know at the beginning, he had mentioned he can't really respect politics that don't understand it. And I'm recording this just 2 days after the election in the United States. And it's obviously a very, it can be a divisive time. But I did notice a couple of Ren's posts um, about having friends on both sides of that political aisle in the United States. And regardless of your political leanings, right? Um, don't let hate breed more hate. It doesn't do anything. You know, ousting people for political views just alienates people and causes more division. And the more division there is, the less likely people are going to be to have an open-minded conversation. And that's really the only way to have positive change is to have open-minded conversations where you listen just as much as you want to make a point. And instead of being argumentative and trying to tear other people's points down, you know, help them make their point by showing understanding and empathy, and hopefully they'll do the same for you. So when you're trying to make a point, they're not picking at every little thing that they can find that's wrong, but looking at the truths in there, right? So yeah. Anyway, um, yeah, I really like this song, just the way it's building. I think he just turned a corner, so I think there's going to be some more staged people. Let's see if I'm right. But I do really like the camera work with this the sun in the face and then it kind of shifting a little bit. So they obviously did multiple takes and cut some in here, but it's basically one take, right? Just with some cuts for effect, but it's I think it's the same take throughout. Yeah, pretty cool.
His mother's in the black suit, crying at a funeral. 9 to 5 crucible, this route is not commutable. A kid falls off the tracks and then he serves the scratch at juvenile. Libby's at the dolies, but her disposition's humorful. While Davy's at the bookies and his mates call him delusional. Britain, drink it down and moan about the weather. When the sun starts shining, feel the factor 10 tremor. Boys, we'll be in it together until the fists start flying like they're Conor McGregor, and then he's out. I think he took it too far. I think the boy saw red. I think he hit him too hard. Now he's face down on the pavement with the face full of tar. Mad how small altercations can define who we are. That's my...
I really like that line, how small altercations can define who we are. And it's so true in today's culture. Talking more about culture than mental health, but they really play into each other, right? Culture affects our mental health, and kind of cancel culture nowadays. You can say one wrong thing or even say one thing that somebody doesn't like or gets offended about or takes it the wrong way or takes it out of context and have society turn against you. Um, for one thing, he mentioned, I like, he said, a kid falls off the tracks and then serves a stretch at juvenile. So I used to be a counselor at a boys 13 to 19 juvenile residential detention center where kids would go for a minimum of 6 months with felony charges. And so I've dealt with that population quite a bit. Kids that end up, having juvenile charges, felony charges, and several of them, it was just one wrong move, and then it's a slippery slope. So it's not just about cancel culture, but it's also about, people making mistakes. And in many songs, Rin has kind of made a point about it not being about the mistakes as much as learning from the mistakes. And that's by and large so true with most mistakes. Unfortunately, some mistakes have higher stakes and aren't as easy to move on from. But by and large, especially the small mistakes, um, they're such an important part of life. Anyway, going back, I like the little staged fight and the doggo. I love the doggos. Can't help myself. I mean, look at the joy on these people. Like they're like, what is going on here at the fake fight? Yeah, like I'm gonna go back a little bit further and see that little fake fight again.
Tremor. Boys will be boys.
And that tremor, he was talking about a size 10 tremor, so shaking things up, shaking, yeah. Anyway,
Feel the factor 10 tremor. Boys will be in it together until the fists start flying like they're Conor McGregor, and then he's out. I think he took it too far. I think the boy saw red. I think he hit him too hard. Now he's face down on the pavement with the face full of tar. Mad how small altercations can define who we are. That's my cue. I guess it's time to head home. It's bittersweet how my high found its way to below. And I've said it once before, as above, so below. Living on the streets of Britain, you just go with the flow. But I'm done. I'm out for the night. As the sun paints the pavements, I'll turn out the light. White noise on the radio to quiet my mind. Always was an overthinker, just the way I'm designed. Britain, drink it down and moan about the weather. When it's all said and done, we'll be in it all together. Boys, we'll be like you forever. It's a bittersweet symphony, we're birds of a feather.
I really like that. I'm gonna listen to that last bit again after he kind of walks away from the couple there smiling with their dog. Um, just talking about how the day is coming to the end, and it's a kind of I like the seagulls or the birds sound there. I'm not sure if it's actual ambiance or if that's just an effect put in there, but it goes along with the lyrics. So I'm guessing it's an effect. I don't know how many seagulls are in that town, right? I live in Florida, so that sound happened. So it's almost like I didn't even notice. But when you said birds of a feather, um, yeah, birds of a feather flock together, right? So finding people who share are like-minded, like all the renegades here. Yeah, really good.
On the streets of Britain, you just go with the flow. But I'm done. I'm out for the night. As the sun paints the pavements, I'll turn out the light. White noise on the radio to quiet my mind. Always was an overthinker, just the way I'm designed.
White noise on the radio just to quiet my mind. Yeah, I don't know how your guys' sleep habits, but that one kind of speaks to me. I need some sort of white noise in the background really to sleep well. Otherwise, I might wake up at little things. I'm a pretty heavy sleeper, to be honest with you. It kind of surprises my family sometimes how well I can sleep. But um, yeah, for really good, restful, deep sleep, I put on some white noise of some type, nature sounds or a fan or something like that. Anyway, it does help to quiet the mind. So yeah, I like how he said, as the sun paints the pavement, that's when he turns out the light. So night owl, sleep during the day, up all night.
Britain. Drink it down and moan about the weather. When it's all said and done, we'll be in it all together. Boys will be boys, we'll be like it forever. It's a bittersweet symphony, we're birds of a feather.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I like that song. Um, I like uh, the symphony behind him and the way the musicality kind of rolled with that and the planted people coming out throughout the video, but also done in public. Yeah, really cool little jam there. I dig that one. Well, thank you so much for sticking with me, and we'll catch you in the next reaction. Leave a comment below. If you haven't, hit that subscribe button, like, and let me know what you thought. Take it easy.